Come 2020, will an American be running the Great British Pound?
Hello and welcome to today's Daily Blitz. In this video, we'll be looking into who will replace Mark Carney as head of the Bank of England.
Yeah, that's quite right. So on January 31st, as you may know already, Mark Carney's term expires as Bank of England Governor. Now, his term has been increased a couple of times because of Brexit. However, his term should be at an end in January 31st, and we will have another Bank of England Governor in 2020. Now, the first choice, or seems to be the first choice of the media, is one Minouche Shafik. Is that right?
That's right. So Minouche Shafik actually quit the Bank of England a few years ago to become head of the London School of Economics, which was her dream job. So she actually quit 2 years into her 5-year term. Her criticisms are that she's a little bit too much of an academic, doesn't have the practical experience that you might hope for from a monetary policy maker, but she is nevertheless the favourite in the running.
Right, and the second choice, or seems to be the second choice from the media's perspective at least, is Andrew Bailey, who's currently the chief executive of the Financial Conduct Authority, the FCA, which seems like kind of a strange transition because financial regulation is really quite different from monetary policy in general, and it's not like Andrew Bailey at the FCA has done that great a job when you consider the Woodford scandal, amongst many other scandals, have occurred on his watch.
But Boaz, you're expecting a dark horse to be in the running in the coming weeks, and it's a real surprise to me, at least.
Well, the individual in question is one Kevin Walsh. And Kevin Walsh is a Federal Reserve Board former governor who was really once very high in the Federal Reserve System. But it's interesting because the guy is ultimately an American and who is versed in American monetary policy. Now, interestingly, he was anti-quantitative easing in 2009, and he was also warning about inflation in 2010, which these days seems to be very contrary to consensus when it comes to central banking.
But those are the points against him. You have a particular reason for why you think that he might be in the running.
Yes, I think Kevin Walsh might be picked simply because, simply in an attempt by the Boris Johnson government to get the Americans more on side, sort of a peace offering or a token gesture to have an American running the Bank of England in order to get the Americans more amenable to a broader free trade deal with the US.
So while it's still the dark horse candidate, there is a chance that an American will be running the pound, and that concludes today's Daily Blitz.